Hello, today we're having a look at the last exercise by Nicholas Lauera for the intervals. He introduces the 7th and the 8th, most commonly known as an octave here. Now, an octave basically means you go from C to the next C up, or from a E to an E, yeah? So, let's go through a couple of them. So, from C on the C string. The next C up is the 3rd finger on the G string. Yeah, D is 1st finger on the C string. And the 4th finger on the G. Yeah, you could go for the open D as well, but that's for the right hand a lot more difficult to go from an open from a 1st finger on the C across the G string straight to the D. So I do recommend you go for the 4th finger instead. Yeah, because the next 2 octaves we don't have a choice. If we go for a 2nd finger on the E, now the next E is on the D string, so you have to go across that G. And the same for when you go for F. We also have to go across strings. Yeah. And the next note, because we're in C major, we can use just simply an up string. And the pattern repeats itself. Yeah. From the 2nd finger, you have to cross strings to 1, and then from 3 across strings to 2. Yeah, so that's the octaves. The 7th is similar, only it's one note less far away from each other. So instead of going from C to C, we go from C to B. C to B. From D to C. Until now we've been able to do it from over 2 strings that are next to each other. However, when you have a 3rd finger, you have to go across strings from the 3rd finger on the C to the 1st finger on the D. Yeah, from F to E. And on the next 7th we can start from an up string again. Yeah, so this exercise combines these 2 intervals. On top of that, we have our first arpeggios here. Now an arpeggio is a broken chord. Now in this case they're 3-note chords, and all 3-note chords, well no, the most common 3-note chords used in classical music use 1 major 3rd, 1 minor 3rd, and a perfect 4th. However, you have major chords where the major 3rd comes first, followed by a minor 3rd and a 4th. Or you have a minor chord, in which case the minor 3rd comes first, then the major 3rd, and then the 4th. But to make things most interesting, you do not have to start on the 1st note of a chord. So it seems very random. You could have a major 3rd followed by a 4th, followed by a minor 3rd, or a major 3rd followed by a minor 3rd, followed by a 4th. Yeah, all these combinations. You can even start on a 4th. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It changes the name of the chord, but it's still just an arpeggio. And these arpeggios are all 1 octave arpeggios, which means you're going to begin and end on the same note, only 1 octave apart. So I'll show you the pattern of today's exercise. C. Now we do the 3-note arpeggio, so C was the first one. The next one is a major 3rd, a minor 3rd, and a 4th, which brings us back to C. Now we're going to play the octave twice. And then the 7th. To prepare for the next pattern, we go from C to D. And the next arpeggio starts with a 4th, a major 3rd, a minor 3rd, octave, and so on. And now it is across strings, your octave and your 7th as well. So there are so many things going on. That's why we're going to start very slow, as always. And I hope you practiced all your previous exercises well, so at least the 3rds and the 4ths will have no surprises. And the octaves are fairly obvious. The main problem is going to be the random string crossings. Yeah, sometimes you go to the next string, sometimes you have to skip a string, and to get that under control, that is more difficult. So here we go, very slowly at 40. Oh yeah, it's in 6/4, so I'm counting until 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Prepare the octave, first thing on the C. Octave across strings, all the way to C string, and all the way back, and a 7th across strings. Octave across strings. Across strings. Okay, prepare the E. Prepare the octave. Prepare the 7th. Octave. And 7th. Prepare the octave cross strings. 2 and back, and 7th cross strings. Octave cross strings. And cross strings. Octave cross strings again. And that's it. That's the whole exercise. It's really complicated, I know. Lots to think about. But hey, this is a coming together of lots of little things that we've learned before. You know major thirds and you know minor thirds. You know fifths. Sometimes you can see fifths in there that you can prepare. Yeah. It's all there. So practice this as much as you have to, but this kind of stuff is what music is made of. Most of the time, music either hops around or follows the patterns of scales, which basically means you get scales and simple intervals. Later on, things get a lot more complicated, but at the moment, this is all you have to worry about. If you get flexibility to be able to control something like this at a reasonable speed without tensing up too much, you're really preparing yourself to grow fast. Yeah, these drills are extremely useful, so be patient and gain the control, the relaxation, the intonation and the sound quality. That's your challenge, not speeding this up. That can happen next week or in 2 weeks time, but be patient, work through this quite regularly, just because it's so challenging. So much of what you know is right in this one exercise. So good luck, and I'm going to speed this up. I'll see you there.